Hey everyone, Donnie here with Paleo Tracks. Today I'm out in the Rocky Mountains once again. And as you can see, I am in the middle of nowhere. We still have some snow on the ground, but we got a nice sun out and it's kind of mounting some things up. Today I wanted to talk to you about one of my favorite primitive weapons, and that's the Atlatl. So stick around, much to see, much to go over, and I think you'll enjoy. All right, so let's kick this off. Atlatl, what is it? Well, what it is it's a dart thrower. It's a large arrow thrower, and what it allows is for the user to get a somewhat mechanical advantage by creating an extension of the arm in order to throw a dart. There's three main components of it. There's the handle, there's the main shaft, and there's the throwing spur. Now, this can be created in hundreds of ways, and it's all based on the user and their preferences. But you can have a handle that has finger loops. You can have a handle that has drilled out finger thumb loops. You can wrap leather around the handle. You can wrap some sort of cordage to give you a bit extra grip, or you can keep it slick like this. The shaft comes in a variety of shapes and sizes. It can be exceptionally thin. It can be flat like this. It could be of bone, maybe a rib bone of a large animal. It's got a natural curve. They can have a curve and they can be flat. It's really up to the user and how they want to design it. And lastly, the spur can be made of a variety of things. It could be one piece of wood with the spur carved out. It could be a piece of wood backed with another piece of wood that has a antler tine like this one sticking out. This could be bone. It could be any sort of resource that you find out in the wilds. But bottom line is, between the handle, the shaft, and the spur, these are the three components you need in order to throw an Atlatl dart at the intended target. Let's throw some darts. So this is the Atlatl Dart, and Atlatl darts come in a variety of shapes and sizes. They come in 5 foot, 6 feet, 7 feet. It's really, again, based on the intended user. They can be tri-fletched, they can be bi-fletched, but one key component for most Atlatls that are in use is the very back end of the Atlatl has a little hole or little groove or gouge is taken out of it, and that is for the Atlatl throwing spur to fit right in there, and it allows a single point of energy transfer from the Atlatl to the Atlatl Dart. Now on the Atlatl Dart you can have a variety of tips. These are field tips. These are what I use for throwing practice and a variety of other things, but most early man would have had some sort of flint-napped Atlatl dart point on this, you know, haft with some sort of jute or pine pitch or something along those lines. But most darts, you know, are for the most part between that 5 and 6 foot mark, but they are flexible, and that's one of the key things that darts need to be, is flexible, because when that energy transfer takes place from the spur, this dart's going to bend. The energy is going to move down and through, creating this dart to fly. So you need to have a flexible wood, a sturdy wood but flexible. You got to have fletchings for accuracy and aerodynamic flight, and you need to have that back little gouge or that back little hole drilled out so you can connect the throwing spur to the actual dart. All right, so I'm going to throw some of these darts, and one key thing to remember when you're throwing an Atlatl, it is a transfer of energy from that spur to the back of the Atlatl dart. And how I hold the Atlatl is just like this. I take the Atlatl, I connect it to the spur, I rest the dart on those 3 fingers, my middle, ring, and pinky finger, and then I hold the actual Atlatl dart with my index finger and my thumb. And what I do is I push slightly back this way, creating a little bit of pressure on that spur, which allows me to hold the Atlatl in place. Now, when you throw, I like to kind of call it make ready your Atlatl dart, and you put it up by your eye. You're almost at eye level, and when you throw, you're sliding this dart forward. I'm not coming up and out. I'm not trying to short arm it. I'm almost sliding the Atlatl forward, you know, towards my intended target. Takes some practice, but you know, with a little practice, just like anything, you can get pretty proficient. So here we go. So before I close up shop today, I want you to think about one thing, and that is when you're employing and practicing with an atlatl, you need to have a good number of darts with field points on them. Field points that allow you to make those continuous shots, those continuous throws, ultimately getting that and creating that muscle memory, so when you have to employ this weapon system, you've got it down to a science. So with that in mind, we have to think that if we are going to employ an atlatl in a primitive living situation or survival situation, there's going to be some sort of point on the front, and we need to practice and train ourselves to remember that there is extra weight on the front, and that's going to impact how our arrow flies. This one is made out of Keocook, held together with pine pitch resin, some jute cord along a bamboo shaft, fletched with a bi-fletching of turkey feathers, with pine pitch resin, jute cord, pine pitch resin along the back end. So this now has a different flight pattern compared to those field points. And if I was to stick a larger Atlatl dart point on this, it might fly a whole heck of a lot different compared to this. So when you're out practicing and when you're out thinking about, hey, I want to start using an Atlatl and becoming proficient with it, know that different points are going to impact the flight pattern of that actual Atlatl dart. Don't overlook that. Train to it, practice to it, and when it comes down to it and you have to use this system for real, in real life, in a survival situation, you'll be ready to go.